Hey everybody, this is Walt.
This is Max.
And you are listening to our podcast on rock and heavy metal albums, the ABCs of rock and metal.
And we call this podcast anti-seminal. What do we call that, Walt? What does seminal mean?
I don't know, explain it to the kids out there.
I don't have a dictionary on me. Okay, so essentially what we're trying to do is we define seminal as those albums, the most significant statements by a particular band. What we want to talk about are those albums that kind of get overlooked, that are underrated, that we think people should be talking about more, that are awesome, and blah, 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 right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You get the picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, okay. And also we're going to do this A to Z with bands. We're trying this out. This is the first one. We're going to just go with A's. What's the A of rock?
AC/DC
That's
in my
right,
book.
That's right. So if you're going to talk seminal albums of AC/DC, you are probably going to mention Back in Black, Highway to Hell. What else?
It's basically those two.
Those are the ones, right?
You know, you go to any jukebox, play any radio station, it's mostly tracks from those two records, Back in Black and Highway to Hell.
Great albums. We're not saying that they're not, but we want to talk about an underrated album.
Our opinion.
In our opinion, yes. In our highly exclusive opinion. What is this album called, Walt?
Powerage.
Powerage. You know what? Until like right now, I was pronouncing this Power Age.
Well, that's dating us then, you know. Now it's Power Age.
I actually didn't. I didn't know it was pronounced Powerage.
Powerage.
Yeah. Which makes sense because it's all one word.
Yeah. It's a
okay,
compound
cool.
word, kind of.
Okay.
Sort of.
It's all like run together.
Yeah.
But yes.
Is it a real word?
No, but does it have to be?
No. Not at all.
All right. This is AC/DC's fifth album, I believe.
Fifth album.
1978. One before this was Let There Be Rock. One after it was Highway to Hell, right?
Correct.
What else do you want to say about this one, just in general sense?
A lot of some of the singles are played here and there off this album. But when people talk about AC/DC, they really just don't talk about, unless you're a musician.
Yeah.
If you're a musician, a lot of people cite Powerage.
Yeah.
For certain tracks.
Or unless you're an AC/DC fan. I mean, obviously, if you're a fan of AC/DC, you know this album. But we're kind of thinking of like more casual fans. You know, if you've got two AC/DC albums, you probably don't have Powerage.
Right.
You know?
The casual fan, 9 times out of 10, has Back in Black.
Yes, exactly.
Even fans that aren't really big fans, they have it.
Yes.
And it's one of those albums that has just crossed over. Mm-hmm. Where I feel this record has a little bit more going on for it. Maybe that's because Back in Black is so huge and so well known, and because you've heard it a million times, that I like to delve a little bit deeper sometimes with the earlier records.
Okay. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to justify why we feel this way. We're going to go song by song, and the first song up is
Rock and Roll Damnation.
Talk about this song, Walt.
One of my all-time favorites by the band.
Why?
Just because
I mean, just
the
listen.
title alone, and Angus, once again, bringing the noise.
Yep.
It's a great opening song for an album.
And it's maracas in it.
Yeah.
Which
Listen
is
to that, yeah.
really kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Seriously, right?
It's got a real groove. It's not just heavy, it's groove-oriented as well.
And I always listen to lyrics. One thing that I like about this is the lyrics convey the sense that this pursuit of fame through rock and roll leads to corruption.
Right.
You know, that it's just you're gonna end up just destroyed.
Well, I kind of took it as you do it for the love of, but know damn well that it's not an easy road, and you're gonna have to deal with the downside of it.
Okay.
You know.
Tell me why you feel that way.
Because he's kind of singing it almost in a festive voice, the way Bon always sang.
Okay.
You know, it's a rock and roll damnation, like he's saying here. Take a chance while you still got a choice. Mm-hmm. If you want to get out there and play rock and roll, know that all this other stuff comes with it.
Yeah. Which is kind of an interesting statement.
Yeah.
You know, because so many songs that are about like, okay, you know, be a rock and roll singer or whatever, it's all about the glory of it. Mm-hmm. You know, the fame, the riches, the women, all that kind of shit.
Right.
This is just like, no, it's real.
Well, Bon always had that different delivery with his lyrics. He wasn't always the guy on top.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was losing a lot.
That is one really interesting thing. What a couple of things I really like about this album is that I think that ends up being a theme throughout these songs.
Oh yeah.
And we'll get into that more. Another thing that I think is interesting that there's no real solo. Right?
There is.
Where?
But it's towards the end of the song.
It's the end. Yeah. It's almost like it's more like he's kind of vamping on the outro.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard life. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next song?
Okie doke. The next song is one of my all-time favorites. Seriously,
I'm glad you said that.
lyric-wise.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Down Payment
Down
Blues.
Payment Blues. Yes.
I've sung that song so many times I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
You know.
This song is like so like draining emotionally.
Right.
You know, it's got this kind of dark mood to it, and the solo on this, I just think it hits these heights of expressiveness.
Oh yeah.
That you don't hear that much out of Angus.
No.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
just check the opening here.
yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Then you go into this sweet bass line. Dun, 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 dun.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, this was the first album that bassist Cliff Williams played on, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Now, who was the previous bassist? I don't.
Oh,
remember
I
the
always
name.
forget the guy's name.
Okay.
And that's bad. I should have been more prepared
But
for this one.
I think there's an interesting contrast because the previous bassist, his work was a little more. I don't have the proper language for this, but there are kind of like more melodies, notes in it.
Right.
You know, kind of bounced around more. Cliff Williams is much more just kind of like hard, you know, like constant.
Thick. He was just a thick bass player. Is what
Yeah,
we like
it's like
to,
he and the drummer just sort of established this like foundation. Yeah.
Which is the spine of any good band.
Which I think takes this album more into metal and past the hard blues that I think they were playing
Right,
before.
right.
I mean, what do you think about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But they still always had one foot in the blues.
They did.
Always
yeah.
had one foot in the blues.
But I think this album represents an evolution.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 And as this is like, do you feel like this kind of constructed as a blues song? I mean, it.
Oh yeah, I think all of his songs are constructed initially as a blues song.
But it just feels like it feels hard.
Yeah.
You know?
And the way Angus is playing the open notes here, like letting it ring out.
Yeah.
You know, and letting Bond scat all over it.
And one of my favorite lines of all time, I got myself a Cadillac, but I can't afford
For the
gasoline.
gasoline, yeah. Myself a Cadillac.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really, really
And
great.
then I got holes in my shoes, and
Yeah.
I'm way overdue.
Yeah.
Yeah. There he is.
Yeah.
The legendary Bon Scott. Rest in peace.
It's a really, really good song.
Yep.
And in the outro, it kind of slows down
Yeah.
to like an actual classic blues tempo,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So it's like they're still paying homage to that.
Yeah.
You know, they never quite lose that,
No.
which I think is really interesting. I think it really says a lot about them.
Well, that, in my mind, makes a good rock band.
Yeah.
You know, the structure can be simple. Your skeleton can be simple, but what you do to nuance around it is what really makes a song.
Tell me more.
The way Angus plays his lines, the way Malcolm plays his rhythm, they work extremely well together, but they are so distinctive at the same time.
Okay.
They're so distinct players.
Okay.
They're two distinct players.
Uh-huh.
But on paper, it shouldn't work.
Yeah.
But the brothers make it happen.
Huh. Okay.
They really do.
No, I hear that. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and a lot of people would always say, "Oh, poor Phil Rudd. You just got to play a straight beat." But he's one of the most underrated rock drummers in history, I think,
All right.
in the history of rock and roll.
Tell me about that.
They always take it as, "Oh, he's just playing 1, 2, 3, 4."
Yeah.
But Rudd has a lot more talent than that. If you really dig, especially on this record, he's not necessarily being so technical. He's being loose. And I think it works with some of these songs.
Okay.
You know, he's not so... Like, on Back in Black, he's really, really hitting on every note. But on Powerage, he's a little looser. And it's a lot more fun. And it makes the songs feel different.
That's interesting you say that, because there is something kind of, and I don't mean this in a bad way, kind of sloppy about this, which it feels more raw.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as produced. And I think part of it is what you were just saying about his drumming.
Right.
And a lot of other elements. There's something very just garage band
This is
raw
a lot more
about
live
this album.
feeling.
Yeah, which I love about it. I mean, they end up feeling much more produced on later albums.
Like Highway to Hell and
Exactly.
Back in Black.
Yeah.
They had Mutt Lange, and Mutt Lange was notorious for being, you got to be right on time.
Okay.
Everything has to be perfect.
Okay. But he didn't produce this album.
No, he didn't. Actually,
Okay.
this is produced by Malcolm and Angus's older brother, George,
Huh. Okay.
who
I
was in
didn't
the
know
Easy Beats.
that. Wow. Okay.
Also with Harry Vonda.
Okay.
So they produced the album.
Okay.
So,
Huh.
yep.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good shit. Okay. Next song. It's hard to stop listening to this song. It's so freaking awesome. All right. Next up, we got "Gimme a Bullet." Man, that's a good riff. The subject is basically dealing with the anguish of a loss of a relationship, right?
Right.
And I love the refrain, "Give me a bullet to bite on, and I'll make believe it's you."
Yeah. Give me a bullet to bite on. Give me something to chew.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a bullet to bite on, and I'll make believe it's you.
There's just something so, I don't, like self-destructive about the loss of romance.
Right.
In that, you know, I mean, it's real. It's bluesy, but it takes it to a different level.
Yeah.
Almost, right?
Yeah. Normally when you're being tortured or whatever, they give you something to bite on. Like, you know,
Uh-huh.
he wants a bullet,
Yep.
which is insane, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's very, very good. Yeah.
Like I said, once again, Bon Scott's lyrics were always tongue-in-cheek, double entendres, you know, just clever.
What are some of your favorites as examples?
I love all of his lyrics, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Every single song that he wrote, every single batch of lyrics from every album, I love them all. I love them all. I can't, it's hard for me to pick because I'm such a Bon fan.
Yeah, okay.
When he was with AC/DC.
Did he write the lyrics?
Oh, yes.
Himself, okay.
Well, they worked on parts together, but for the most of them,
Okay.
Bon did write his
He was
own
one.
lyrics.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And I think it's interesting that this album, out of all of them, it's very, very low on like sexual innuendo.
Right.
Like there's little like like posturing,
Right.
like bragging. There's a lot of heartache.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this album, defeat,
Right.
pain.
Well, a lot of Bon's lyrics were like that. He was not the guy that was always winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a couple here
Yeah.
and there. But a lot of his songs, he was the guy that was losing.
Yeah, which
You know?
which gives it some depth. I
Yeah.
think you know
Right.
it makes it grounds it in that kind of blues idiom of poetry.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In a pretty cool way. But he's doing something different with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blues is basically, you're the guy that has been left by your woman.
Yeah,
Or,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
or the police are hunting me down, or, you know.
yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, he was just great with the idea of taking those and switching them up, you
Yeah.
know, to his own personal experiences.
Yeah.
I think the most you get where he's posturing is when he's talking about being a rock and roll star
Sure.
here and there.
Yeah.
But then he still comes back with, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
I had to work for it, and trust me, there are points where it sucks. Like Rock and Roll Damnation, Rock and Roll Singer, you know?
It's real, and people don't really see AC/DC that way.
Right.
But when you really listen to them,
Yeah.
especially albums like this one, you get that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why it's one of my favorites that a lot of people don't mention. Like I said, unless you're a musician.
Yeah.
And especially with this next song,
Oh my God.
Riff
Okay.
Raff.
Okay.
Now, if
Yes.
you're a guitar player,
Yeah.
a lot of guitar players always come back to this song, Riff
The
Raff.
guitar on this song is insane. It's like it's messy, it's dirty, you
Yeah.
know, in like the best way
It's
possible.
naughty.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
naughty.
exactly. Yeah, it's just like yeah. They're just like we're talking about the production on this.
Yeah.
It's deliberately just kind of pushing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Going for more of a live sound, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So now you got this going on. It's kind of a wash guitar sound.
Yeah.
And then you get to the nice tightness. Boom.
Yeah.
See?
Now, the song, the other song that this one always reminds me of,
Is
Rock and Roll Led Zeppelin. No.
Rock and Roll Led Zeppelin?
Listen to it. Listen to it.
Okay.
Listen to it.
All right.
So it's got that boogie woogie rhythm.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
And then
It's almost Chuck Berry, Little Richard.
Yeah. I mean, it's a different kind of song, but it almost feels like because like rock and roll goes like what's like the main.
It's
riff?
hard to do that when
Yeah, I know,
you're listening to-
but it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar.
Right.
Yeah.
Been a long time since I rock and roll. Right.
Which is kind of like this line in a way.
Right.
Yeah. But this one's like dirtier, more raw.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's almost moving towards punk in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people that were into punk liked AC/DC back in the day and
Yeah.
Motorhead because
Yeah.
they kind of walked the line for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know a lot of guys.
Love the bass right here. You can hear the bass.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. No, to this day, I know guys that are hardcore punk rock fans, and they'll say, "Man, yeah, I dig AC/DC." They see me wearing an AC/DC shirt,
Yeah.
T-shirt, and they'll say, "Oh, I dig AC/DC." I'm like,
Yeah.
really? I thought you were just into like Dead Kennedys and what have you.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, I love AC/DC. It's like AC/DC, Motorhead, and Black Sabbath with some punk rockers.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll go, Zeppelin sucks.
Yeah.
Punk rock, real staunch punk rockers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they'll get into those three. I've experienced anyway.
Right, and I can see that. It's because Zeppelin goes into I don't know. They get artier in a way.
Right.
More complex stuff.
Right.
Which is whereas AC/DC Motorhead they keep it raw.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the time. Right.
It's based in simple rock and roll ideas.
Exactly, like
Blues.
punk rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This solo is insane.
Let me turn that up a little bit.
I mean, it is just like, and it keeps going.
Yep.
You've got this little break here. Right?
Yeah.
It is so good.
And the band is incredibly tight.
Yeah.
Even for being loose, going for more of a live type sound, it's still, you wouldn't want to go on stage after these guys in their fucking prime.
Like, yeah.
I'd be like, no, I quit. Fuck you, I'm not
done.
going out there.
I'm done. Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. All right, next song.
Hold on.
As much as I hate to cut this off. All right, that can mean only one thing. That riff right there.
Which is?
That is Sin City, right?
Oh, yes, it is.
That's a monster opening riff, right?
Absolutely.
All right, how do you feel about this song?
Oh, I love it, man. You talk about debauchery. If you're going to go to Vegas and party down, this is a theme song for it.
And I love the whole idea that it's sort of like, it sells like glamour of Vegas,
Right.
but there's also this, well, you're going to get ruined there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Man's
Yeah.
ruined, so to speak.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Yeah. And the drumming on this track,
Phil Rudd,
I
once
think,
again.
is really intense.
Love the big cymbal washes.
Yeah. All right, what else you got?
Diamonds and dust.
And dust.
Poor man last,
Yep.
rich man first.
Yep.
Great lyrics, once again.
Yep.
Legendary Bon Scott.
Yep.
You know, they're erecting a statue in Australia, or they might have already put it up.
They
A
should.
Bon Scott statue.
They
right?
should,
Yeah, right?
yeah.
I think it might be up already.
Oh, okay.
But it was in talks forever.
Cool.
So, yeah. So the
Yeah.
man got his due,
Yeah. Nice.
you know.
Now where's the Malcolm Young statue?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I know.
All right, let's move on. Next track here. Okay, so this is What's Next to the Moon.
What's next to the moon?
Yeah.
I thought you were asking me. I have no idea. Great song.
It's interesting that it takes like a full 45 seconds for the main riff to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A build-up.
The
Which-
lyrics on this one are super weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You know, it took me a while to kind of really hear them.
Yeah.
Because you kind of latch on to the coolness of the song and the groove.
Yeah, it's cool.
But when you really dive in, It's like, is he beating up his girl, his wife? What, you know?
There are some evocations of violence against women in this song.
Yeah.
That it's like he plays it kind of cheekily,
Right.
but I don't know if I'm really convinced.
Right.
It almost feels like it was like an experimental poem that didn't quite work out, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you really delve in, it's a dark song. It's a little dark.
No, you're right.
So
yeah.
you start thinking, with the title, "What's Next to the Moon?" Is it like the Honeymooners thing, like to the moon, Alice?
That's
like,
a
I'm
good point. Yeah,
knock
yeah.
You way the fuck out.
I never thought of that.
And
yeah.
normally their lyrics are not like this.
Yeah. It seems like he's trying to joke with it.
Right.
And I don't know.
But you couldn't get away once again with a song like this.
Yeah. And
Nowadays, they would come down on you hard.
You probably shouldn't.
know?
Yeah.
Or back when the PMRC was around.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were on the list anyway.
Well,
AC/DC.
Yeah.
Typical.
Next song. Next up, Gone Shootin'.
Oops.
Oh.
Wrong track.
Okay.
There we go.
Gone Shootin'. You know, I think this is the grooviest song on the album. I mean, you can hear it right now, you know?
Yeah.
It's just this sort of solid, just...
It's like a pulse.
It's almost like, it's like funky country rock.
Yeah, listen to it.
Yeah. And the solo especially.
Yeah.
And the rhythm work by Malcolm Young, I think, really, really stands out in this one.
Oh, yeah.
This is where you really, really hear what he can do.
Everybody would always talk about Angus first.
Yeah.
Malcolm did a hell of a lot of work with
Rest
this
in
band.
peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, Angus was basically the face of the band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, but when you look at the entire picture when it comes to AC/DC,
Yeah.
it's not just Angus all the time.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
You know, he's a brilliant guitar player. He's a brilliant songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't have Malcolm, you wouldn't have had AC/DC.
No,
in my
not at
book.
all. Not at all. Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, AC/DC was Malcolm's idea first, not Angus's.
Really? Okay.
If I remember correctly, hearing that in an interview, that it was Malcolm. Malcolm was always willing to stand back and let Angus be, you know, the main guy, the face of the band. But Malcolm did a hell of a lot with getting AC/DC off the ground.
Nice.
With his brother George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, this song, I mean, obviously it's about shooting up, but it's really sad.
Yeah.
You know, when you listen to it, it's a tragic kind of song.
Yeah.
You know? It's
can't control his woman.
Yeah.
You know, she's a heroin addict, etc. But see, it's funny that he puts these lyrics to this song because it's kind of like you said, a funky, upbeat groove almost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
but
it's interesting.
She took another pill and, you know, it's all about her getting fucked up all the time and he can't control her.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting contrast.
Those are the darkest types of songs for me.
Yeah.
Where it's really, really kind of an upbeat type rhythm or melody. And the lyrics are just dark as fuck. You know, depressing and, you know.
Yeah. This solo right here. It's a bit funky.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen to it. It's, you know... I mean, you know, there's a scale of funk. It's not P-Funk, obviously.
Of course, right.
It's as funky as like an Australian hard rock band's going to get.
Right.
But it's solid. Listen to it.
I kind of feel like this is Angus's interpretation of like Keith Richards when he would do real funk guitar solos for the Stones.
Huh. Give me an example.
Oh, in the 70s when they put out actually, you know what? Let's not talk about the Stones right now. Let's stay on topic. We'll get to the Stones eventually.
Yeah. That's R. Yes.
But for me, I just kind of always heard that.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
With this solo. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I can hear that. It's good.
Yeah.
All right. Next song. Got to keep moving. Next up, we got Up to My Neck in You.
If I could get the track going.
Yeah. Okay, here it is, though. This is good. This is a pounding rocker.
Oh, yeah.
But what I love about this, like lyrically, it's essentially about this concept of being saved from a sad life by a relationship with a woman. You know?
Right, yeah.
Like he's had tough times, but he meets her and he's up to his neck in her, whatever that might mean. Like in terms
Come on,
of
what do you think
sex-
it means? Come on, what do you think it means?
This is probably the most sexual innuendo we get on this album,
Right.
but there's just something. It's like he's achieved a salvation
Yeah.
through this relationship, you know,
Right.
sexual or otherwise. It's a connection that he's made.
Right. Right.
I think it really works.
Oh, yeah.
And that image of the railroad track comes back, but he's tied to it in this one.
Right, right.
You
Yeah,
know
see,
what?
that's what I'm saying. He
Yeah,
does
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
And it just drives.
Yeah.
You know, it just keeps going.
See, well, anybody that's in a bad relationship and having bad times,
Yeah.
you kind of wind up sticking with that bad relationship
Yeah.
because you're just surrounded by shit. And I think that's what he's talking about,
But you
too.
think this is a bad relationship?
Oh, yeah. Seems to me.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought this was a good one.
Really?
I thought he was going through bad shit, but then he meets her, and he's in a good place. That's how I heard it.
Okay. All right. I kind of always took it the other way.
Really?
Like,
Huh.
everything's fucked up, and
Okay.
you're part of the problem, too.
Really?
But I can't leave you because you're the only thing that's kind of fun in my life.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I can see that. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
yeah. I've been in a bad relationship.
Okay.
And I go,
All right. Yeah. Okay, I can
So-
hear that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh,
I know it's still too
all
hard.
right. Let's do this. Next song.
All right.
Okay, play this bit.
Oh shit. Sorry. We'll edit this out. There we go.
This is just
Old school blues
he,
right
yeah,
there.
he is channeling some old school like blues stuff right here. I mean, he's shouting himself hoarse.
Yeah. This is like Howlin' Wolf style.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me, baby.
And I love that. I love the minimalism of it, you know?
With every mother's son.
And I love that they just trusted him to do that. You
Yeah.
know, like just
Yeah.
out there on his own.
Yeah. He delivers.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing was that he could do
yeah.
it. And then,
Yeah. It's got the standard blues trope of like a man betrayed by a cheating woman.
Yeah.
So it's definitely in that kind of blues idiom.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
it's a
boom.
good song.
The breakdown and then
Yeah.
give him space to move.
Huh. Okay, yeah.
And then space. Then Angus
Yeah.
goes,
You really hear
And
the
old-
bass here.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a solid bass groove, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
See, but that's a classic thing, you know, with blues too, where the guitar stops for a minute so he can say his piece and then picks
Right. Yeah.
right up.
Again, it's like we hear them working in blues idioms, but doing their own thing with it.
Right.
Which to me that's just great metal or hard rock.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you start with the blues, but you take it someplace else. You make it your own thing.
Right.
Yeah. All right,
Any
well,
good
yeah.
rock metal band, if you don't know the blues to start out
You don't-
with,
you don't know
you don't know
music.
shit. Then
Yeah,
you know, for me,
It's
you
like,
know.
what are you even doing there?
right.
Yeah.
I mean, even the heaviest, most industrial band
Yeah.
can sit down and play a fucking blues song for you.
Yep.
They
Exactly.
could.
Yeah.
You know. So.
All right.
all right.
I'm gonna ask you something here, Walt. Okay, if you had to pick your top song on this album,
Oh,
this is a gun to your head.
that is
Top song on the album.
Don't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm hard pressed between three of them.
Okay.
Rock and Roll Damnation, Down Payment Blues, and Sin City.
But you got to pick one.
I know I got to pick one.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll say Down Payment. Down Payment
Oh My
Blues.
God, that's what I'm gonna say.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
No, seriously.
Really?
No. I
For me,
thought
it's
about
Down
this before.
Payment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just such a good song.
I sing that shit all
Such a
the
good
time.
song.
Especially, you
Yeah.
know, when I'm got to pay my bills and, you know, and then when I'm ducking creditors. So,
It is such a solid song. You know, like
Yeah.
you can just hear it over and over again.
yeah.
right? If you had to pick the weakest song on a great album,
On
but
this
the weakest
album.
song, yeah, on this album, yeah,
For me, the weakest song, that's also really hard.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
It's really hard
Yeah.
because, like I said, I love the album.
it's a great album.
Track 1 to 9.
It is consistent.
Yeah.
Like you don't talk about this album and say, okay, this is the song that I skip over,
Right.
Because there are no
I don't
songs
skip.
like that. No,
I don't
exactly. No,
skip.
it's completely back to front. It's a really good album.
That's really hard.
But if you
for
had
me.
to pick,
If I had
you
to
had to
pick
pick.
one.
because this is the stupid thing we do here.
Right.
We make these decisions.
That's really tough.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the song anyway.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick, I'd
Yeah.
say Gone Shootin' just because of the lyrical content.
Okay. For me, it's What's Next to the Moon.
Okay.
Primarily because of the lyrical content.
Right.
And I just think that there are many more stronger songs on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you, what do you think about the cover art?
Oh, it's fucking horrible. It's fucking terrible.
All right, let's describe this for a moment. This is he's got like these wires coming out of his sleeves. I mean, you can like Google this, but we're going to describe it.
Yeah.
So it's Angus. He's got his outfit on, his like schoolboy uniform, but he's got these wires coming out of the sleeves. He's like plugged into something, and he's like going ah.
It looks like he's getting electrocuted.
Electrocuted. Yeah. It's not my favorite AC/DC album cover.
No, not at all.
And especially, I don't think it's appropriate for this album.
Right.
I think they could have actually.
It's almost a deterrent.
It almost
Back
is,
in the day,
yeah.
if you bought an album based on the album cover, like I did a lot of times.
Because sometimes you had to.
You're like,
because
oh,
you
that
didn't,
looks cool.
Yeah, you didn't know what was
Right.
in it. Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is, the only thing I like is the font.
The
I
font
like
is
the
cool.
font.
Yeah.
You know, I like the AC/DC font. It's, you know,
Yeah.
it looks like it's being electrified.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's a bad album cover.
That contains a great album.
That contains
Yeah.
a fantastic
All right.
album.
Any last thoughts you have on this album? Powerage, AC/DC.
Oh, you know, honestly, just that I think it's a great
It's
record.
You know, like
Back to front.
It's one that I've always kind of listened to, and it's a really solid album. But in preparation for this podcast, I really gave it a deep listen.
Yeah.
And I think it rewards that. You know, like you listen to it over and over again, it just keeps coming back at you. It delivers.
You always find something else in there,
You do, yeah.
like we did
Yeah.
doing the podcast
Yeah.
today. And for me, it's one of my go-to
Yeah.
AC/DC records.
Yeah.
Like I said, don't get me wrong, I love Back in Black.
Yeah.
I love Highway to Hell. But I've heard them so many times. And even when you don't want to hear them,
You hear them.
if you're in a bar or you're, in even a
They're played.
restaurant,
Yeah.
here it comes, Back in Black, all over again,
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, pick another AC/DC song, please, Give me something off Powerage. Give me something off, anything,
Yeah.
So, and I honestly think that Back in Black wins over Highway to Hell as
You think so?
the
really?
most played AC/DC
Oh yeah, as the
record.
most played.
Yeah, that you
yeah,
hear
yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And even friends of mine that aren't into rock and metal, if I hang out with them, they go, "Hey, I got Back in Black. I'll put that on for you."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, right."
I mean,
okay.
you Shook Me All Night Long is probably the most played,
Yeah.
and it
I love it still, but
honestly it bothers me because it is the one that you can most dance to. And I don't get me wrong, I love dance music,
right.
but I don't want to dance to AC/DC. But that one you can really dance to, It's just like, you can layer a beat on it, and you can remix it, and like all that kind of shit.
right.
That's not my AC/DC. This is my AC/DC right here. It's
Right.
like raw. It's unforgiving,
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
steeped in blues. Comes in one end, it comes out the other dirtier, and nastier,
Right.
That's what I like out of my AC/DC.
You feel
Yeah.
like when you're done listening to it that you did spend like a night in Vegas drinking all fucking night long.
With these
and
motherfuckers.
doing coke and
Yeah,
whatnot.
and they probably kicked your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, totally.
that you're just fucking like, oh man, those boys in AC/DC, they know how to party.
Yep. Yeah.
And sometimes you're hard pressed not to want to grab a drink when you listen to some of these songs. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, man, I want to party with these guys.
We're drinking right now.
Yeah, right.
As a matter of fact.
We've been drinking.
Oh, have we?
Oh, yeah.
Were you supposed to tell people that?
Sure, why not?
Okay, yeah,
Let 'em
exactly.
know.
It's AC/DC. Come on. All right, this is why we do anti-seminal, to bring albums like this to your attention. If maybe you know this album. If you don't, I think we recommend that you give it a try.
Absolutely.
Because it is a worthy album. All right, well, let's wrap this up. This is Anti-Seminal from Useless Info Inc. We're going to come at you next time with another band, another album. We haven't decided which one yet.
No,
we'll
man.
think about that.
I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, you have any thoughts?
I'd like to do another AC/DC record.
No, dude, we can't do that.
Why?
That's outside the fucking format.
Oh, fuck, man. All right.
Dude, do not mess with me right now. Anti-seminal means one album per band.
Okay.
We
All
can
right.
do. Okay, I will let you do another A band if you want to, or we can go to B.
Okay. Let me think.
You want to think? You want to think about this like off mic, or do you want to do this right now? Because we're burning up tape right here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
You want to think about this, don't you? Walt is looking at his
Okay.
at his fucking CD collection
Yes.
right now. Okay, what?
I
Where are
want
we
to
going?
do Alice in Chains.
All right, so next time we're going to come back with Alice in Chains. Do you know the album right now, or
Yes, I do.
announce?
It is the third album. I actually know it's the fourth, I believe.
Oh my God. Okay, what is it called?
It doesn't have a title.
All right, so which one is it?
Alice in Chains' fifth album.
Okay, that's what we're doing next time.
Self-titled. The fifth album was self-titled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Led Zeppelin 4, which is it's like the fourth album, but it's like
Yeah.
called, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's the album we're doing
All
next
right.
time on Anti-Seminal with Useless Info Inc. People have a good time. We will come back at you with this.
And check out Powerage.
Yes.
If you haven't heard it.
For God's sake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do yourself a favor.
For devil's sake.
Rock the fuck out. Ah!